and welcome to the second episode of Up Next, where we will find out what is up and what is next in UP Cebu. I am your host, Jana, and our previous pilot episode, we did a special episode with my co-communications student, Daisy Rosas, where we talked about the life in UP, like college life in general. But for this episode, this is a very, very special episode because last month, University of the Philippines Cebu was actually one of the constituents for the event called PASUC. And so we invited different guests from the various competitions that joined the said competition. Here we have first ever from the live band competition.
Ako ang una.
Yes. Introduce yourself.
Hello po. Hello sa ating mga listeners. This is Kent Montaño, pero you guys can call me Kenty.
Ayan.
I was the vocalist of the live band. Tapos nag-join kami sa PASUC last month.
Ooh.
Hello.
Hi, Kenty. Welcome to the program.
Hello, madam.
Hello. And next, we have a representative from the place.
Yes. Hi, hello everyone. I am Francine Marie Imperial. I'm currently the vice chairperson of Upstage, and I am also one of the delegates for the PASUC 7 last month, and I competed for the short and sweet play dialogue, where we finished as champions.
I wish I could say the same.
And last but definitely not the least, the representative from mga ninuking mga voices, no?
Yeah.
From the solo and choir.
Hi everybody, my name is Rafael John C. Chavez. I competed, I'm a part of UP Serenata and I competed in the pop solo category. I wasn't able to compete with the choir because we kind of delegated that who's going to be competing in which competition. But yeah, I competed for UP Cebu in the recent PASUC event for pop solo.
Wow. A big, I don't know. So for this, magkamustahan lang ta. Like, mag-storya ta. Kamusta man itong experience during atong pasok? Like, the weeks before, no, nga mag-rigorous kayo atong practices, nga maabtan dyan tag alas 12 baron sa buntag. No? So, sige, mag-start na ni mo, Mr. Kenty. I-plug imong social media. Uy.
Hi guys. If you're listening, you can. All right. I actually have a personal podcast. Since this is a podcast, I have a personal podcast. It's called Podcast ni Kenty. It's available on Spotify.
Yeah.
Tapos if you guys want to check my socials din, it's at kenty.best.boy. Pero yung boy, B-O-I instead of Y.
Yeah.
Yun
Actually,
lang.
guys, podcast ni Kenty, no? Kaya na-appeal siya sa top
5.
5 sa Spotify Philippines. Wow.
Thank you,
Wish more-
Philippines.
Thank you, netizens.
Thank you,
We wish you more
netizens.
success no, sa imong podcast. But like going back, let's talk about PASUC. Kamusta man mo sa live band? Like, talk us through it.
Okay, start ako sa very start
Okay.
of the live band experience. One of the most difficult parang the struggle of parang live band competitions in general is yung pag-find ng studio. Kasi the thing about live bands, you can't practice anywhere, you can't practice anytime, and it's very costly. So that was our parang pinaka main struggle. Una, where to find a place to practice at kasi UP Cebu parang I don't think they have equipment yet for band. So like we have to go outside and find outside sa UP Cebu. So that was our first problem. Tapos the next is the cost kasi yung mga studio, they're kind of expensive actually. They're kind of costly. So that was a part of our problem. Pero for some reason we found ways naman.
Yes.
Una, we found a studio in Banilad. Yeah, tapos they were actually so kind to us kasi they knew na we were students. So they parang offered a student discount at first. And then on top of that, they also like offered parang 2 sessions of parang free lang for 2 hours. Tapos the original price of one session in that studio is 1,200 pesos. Pero
Per hour?
2 hours.
Per 2 hours?
2 hours.
Ay,
Pero we
kapricey.
only paid 600 per session for 2 hours, and then on top of that we have 2 sessions na free. So that was yun lang. Yun yung parang pre-experience namin sa live band. And then everything went on from there. It was so cool to meet new musicians. I met yung drummer, tapos yung drummer, yung other vocalist, yung other guitar, yung other lead na sa guitar. I was like, oh my god, you guys, like, nag-aaral ba kayo sa UP? Kasi parang first time ko silang nakita. Which is cool, kasi yung parang nagjo-join ka ng competitions and you meet new people, and you have the same interest. So parang, it's a nice experience to have.
Kaya diba, parang nag-selection pa kayo with Sir Jorge?
Yeah, at first, it was supposed to be like parang a selection. Pero when we came there were only 4 people. Me, yung bassist, which is Zildjian, the guitarist si Gael, tapos yung keys, which is si Dan. So we didn't really have like parang audition na okay, who wants to audition for a vocalist? Parang the thing na parang we were there, it was parang murag automatic na give to us. I was supposed to say something in Bisaya.
Before we proceed, kay ang conversation is English and Tagalog. I forgot to say. Kay may gusto, but yeah. Anyway, proceed. Next is a representative from the place.
Yes.
Take us back, like weeks or months or a year before.
Decades.
Decades before PASUC 7.
So the preparation for PASUC 7 was very tiring. Good, it was a hell good of an experience. Kay for upstage, we have a presentation after presentation, and prior PASUC, we had 1081, and like we were left with only a few weeks to prepare for PASUC, by including making of the script and all that. So it was very hard, like speaking on behalf of the dialogue team, like it took us almost 2 weeks to finish the script. I was the one who manned the script. And then before we can practice, we have to secure the props, because our presentation was very dependent sa props because it's carbon market. So we needed flowers and to execute the play. So approximately it was like 2 weeks siguro na preparation, plays, practices, and all of that. And luckily it was it went amazing. But before we went to Dumaguete, we had a critics night with our advisor, Miss Gaying, and oh my god, there were a lot of changes because it was not good, Jude. The night before we went to Dumaguete, we had to do a lot of touches sa among props because our props was not realistic as per the critics. So yeah, like it was
What
a
was
lot,
your props
Jude.
before you had to change it?
It was the original set, but almost all of it was new and good. And then what we wanted to portray were carbon market vendors, and almost everything of the props were new. So it's not congruent to the reality of carbon market. So before going to Dumaguete, we had to step on the vases, put nga ng mga paints, because it just for the props to be realistic. And then so before going to Dumaguete, we finished around 3 a.m. securing the props. So we had zero sleep before going to Dumaguete, and then days before the competition, we had to practice until till past midnight to secure everything. And on the day of the competition, we were lucky because we were the 5th to present, and we were able to witness the other plays of the other contestants, and we witnessed that most of them were shouting and it was not good. So we adjusted.
Nakaplan pa sila.
We
Very, very last
strategized.
minute.
We strategized na, especially during the demolition scene, that supposedly all of us will shout. Ate Mila, Anya, me, and the officers, the police officers. But then, from what we saw from the other contestants, na it was not really nice to hear. But all of them were shouting. So we strategized that the only ones to shout during the play was me and Hernando. So it went very well, Jun.
Everything.
And it was very, kanang very, kulba agad siya on the day because during our presentation, there's a timer.
Yeah, sa background.
And
big timer in the background.
yeah,
habang
big timer in the
nagpa-perform.
background during the performance, and then uh, our play had 3 scenes, and then per scene we already timed it ba, and then during the presentation the first scene went way past the time that we allotted for it, so I was very stressed dito sa Luyu kasi kanang sumobra sila sa time allotment. So I really thought na we will go past the 10-minute duration maximum time limit for us, but luckily we had 20 seconds.
clutch.
Yes, na
Clutch
clutch.
champion. But everything really fell into
Yes.
place. No, kaya what
Real.
if sila ang first to perform?
Real,
And wala
actually.
sila, they don't know
Yeah.
na parang annoying yung
Oh
shouting.
my God, so true.
So perfect. So perfect. Okay, so how about you, Raf? Tell us about what happened. What happened? what
Well-
happened with everything?
For us over at Serenata, I don't know about you guys, like when was it decided that you guys would participate in PASUC? But for us, it was decided like around 3 weeks before the event. Supposedly, we weren't going to join at all because Miss Kathy has a policy. If we're preparing for like something like a competition, she wants us to have at least 2 months of practice time. Yes. So what happened was we had less than 2 weeks actually. Not even completely 2 weeks because in the middle of that we had our reading break. So
That's
yeah.
true, yeah.
So we had less than 2 weeks because in the middle of all that as well, we also had some performances outside of UP. So we were practicing for our performances at the time and the upcoming PASUC event. So our practice turned, because our usual practice time is every Tuesday and Friday, 6 to 9. What happened was we were practicing Monday to Friday basically, and we even extended to the weekends for that. We don't want to push like from 6 to 12 midnight
Yes.
because it's going to be strenuous on your voice now, and we were practicing every day, so it wasn't going to be healthy. So that's why we had this like really small time frame to prepare for things. For me especially, I was the pop solo.
Yeah, we saw the
So-
performance.
Yeah, and this was going to be my first ever pop solo performance. So I was nervous train wreck throughout the entire practice period, and the biggest hurdle for me was they only allowed OPM songs, and sadly I'm not a big fan of I'm not that into OPM songs actually. Growing up I was an Englishero, and so I just always had a bias towards songs in English.
So who
So-
chose the performers? Like who chose will be performing the pop solo?
Well, for the choirs, the standard choir and the show choir, it was Miss Kathy. She gave basically the final say on who will be performing in the show choir and in the standard choir. And for the duet, we asked for volunteers.
Volunteers. For
Yes.
the volunteers.
Yes, and for the pop solo, Miss Kathy chose me. I was apparently Miss Kathy's first choice.
Wow.
And-
Wow.
Yeah, it was kind of funny when when they told me about this as well, because initially Miss Kathy told us to inform the officers to tell me that I would not be competing in the choir. Instead, I would be basically her assistant, basically the team manager throughout the PASUC, and I was kind of. It kind of hurt a bit because I was told, "No, okay, you won't be singing. You'll just be the assistant throughout the event." And I was like, "Oh, that's kind of depressing." And then when I got to practice, Miss Kathy was like, "Oh, Raf, by the way, you won't be competing in the choir." "Ah, yes, Miss. They told me you'll be competing in the pop solo."
Ooh.
What? So
Big upgrade, no?
yeah, it was shocking to me because personally, I would consider myself a novice when it comes to singing. So the practice for me was, it was they had to give me like one-on-one practice with the elders. They're the alumni of association, and they gave me one-on-one training like throughout that 2 week period, and like up until the very last day of practice, I had to polish out a lot good in my performance. Pero thankfully, at the final try, at the final practice, I got Miss Kathy's approval of my performance. So I just at the very least I was happy that I could say that I felt prepared for PASUC.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
weren't there, no, but like we really were supporting because there was also like a live on the page during PASUC.
Yeah.
So like same no with radio drama. Actually, the team was prepared since last year. Yes, but among the original members, the only retained members was two, me and Zainon, because Bianca had to perform for Miss PASUC, and like Adi has to be like the stage manager for Miss PASUC. And I forgot about the other members. But yeah, dalawa lang yung
Forgotten.
na-retain. No, not forgotten. But, sino nga? Anyway, I'm sorry if you're watching this. Bad memory. But anyway, so dalawa lang yung na-retain. And then, the original script wasn't really followed because we thought that it was obsolete na. Like, it's not really like timely na during this time. So we had to write another set of script, and like we had to revise it for like 5 times. We had professors to help us check the performance like 3 times. So ganyan siya kadami. But you know, we did our best. We did have fun backstage while we performed. And then even the tech people sa PASUC, they were like laughing at us because our facial expressions behind the big big board. Grabe to ang pag-express ang emotions. Kasi syempre, radio drama, you have to rely on like the voice. What do you call it? The voice, the emotions that's in the voice. But anyway, we talked about already like weeks before, a year before PASUC. So now we will talk during the competitions, during the performances. First, Kenti, like take us through when you were at, how many minutes was the performance for live band?
10.
Yeah, 10.
10 minutes.
Pero
Take
our
us-
performance was like 8 minutes.
So take us through what happened like during PASUC.
I feel like what happened was, nag-perform kami. Period. Okay, next.
They
I mean,
slayed.
we were just thinking to ourselves na parang, we're just gonna have fun. Kasi we were also thinking na we're prepared, and it was true na we were prepared. And then I was just saying to my co-vocalist na, I was just saying to my co-vocalist na, let's have fun, and let's just, our stage presence must be stage presencing.
Yes.
And it was stage presencing. Tapos yun lang, and then we performed. Tapos maybe we had a little bit problem sa mixing of the sounds. Because sa live band, like, may ganon-ganon kasi like mixing of the sounds, which instrument is louder. And I feel like we had a tiny bit of problem there. So parang the sounds that we practiced before, hindi na siya yung exact same sound when sa final. But it wasn't really, I couldn't blame ourselves then or the instrumentalists of our band kasi in the stage you can't hear it.
I
You can only
know.
hear it sa audience.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I realized na the mixing was wrong when I was rewatching it. Tapos parang, wait, this one is a little too loud. Bakit ganito? Hindi ganito yung na-practice
So
namin.
different.
So, parang, yun, like, it was kind of sayang. But at the same time, I don't, and I feel like a lot of my members don't feel regretful as well kasi it's just a good experience to perform. And, yun, it was a nice experience and a learning experience
I
na
know,
din for
yes,
me.
that's true, that's true. As long as you had fun on stage,
Yeah,
no,
really.
performing. Next, stage
me
play.
again.
Stage play.
For the stage play during the performance, what really was in our mind the entire time was really to bring Cebu and Dumaguete, more particularly carbon market privatization. So, and I was very happy because everything went smoothly, good. Everything went
According
the way
to
we
plan.
planned it to be. But like before, before the presentation, the night before the presentation, we had to re-strategize, especially the demolition scene, because supposedly paano to siya, sisirain lang yung isang block namin doon, but then we asked the CMO here if we can have a table that we will really like
Demolish.
demolish to the highest level. And during the presentation, when we played back the play, kay Jen was really able to demolish it very amazingly, and kanang the table was tabling. Kanang ni kuan jud, it participated jud, the props were propsing very much because ni demolish gid siya, ni bungkag
The
gid
table
siya
fell good.
so amazingly.
Stage.
And then
sa
yes, a
stage.
stage,
Fell.
out of the stage.
Out of
And
the stage.
the demolition scene was also strategic because kanang we had only 5 minutes to 5 minutes to get out of the stage. But so during the scene we were also putting back the flowers back to the vases, so that by the end of the play there's little to no more props that we are going to hipos pa. So it was just really an amazing, like looking back at it now, it's just beautiful, and we're very
Yeah.
excited for nationals na.
Actually after or during sa performance nila, like grabe yung goosebumps na pati si Sir GT, like he was crying. I was like, why are you crying? Like, ganyan kami sa likod ni Sir GT. But that was so touching anyway, like so moving ang performance nila that it really spoke
you.
volume. Yeah,
Thank
it
you.
really brought Cebu to okay.
Thank you.
Okay, how about you, Raf?
Well, as for me, leading up to the performance, like while I was waiting for my turn in the pop solo, I thought I'd be more nervous because it was my first time. But I guess I got all of the jitters, so to speak, out of me, like in the days before the actual performance. So when I got there, I honestly wasn't even listening to my competitors. I was just trying to think. I was just trying to visualize what I was going to be doing on stage and thinking about, my notes and all that.
So where were you during the performances? Were you like still at the gym, or did you relocate yourself to like a room or something?
Oh no, we were at the backstage area.
Backstage.
Yes. Yeah, that was the designated waiting room for the next performers, and for me in the pop solo, during my actual performance, I was a bit taken aback because I'll be honest, we didn't actually get to test out the equipment on the stage during the tech run because we were using that time to practice. Instead, what we did was we left 2 people there, myself and our president, si Eza, and we were just watching everybody else do their tech run. So we were taking a look at the positioning of the mics, especially for the choral competitions, and maybe if the pop soloists and duets of the others would come on the stage, we'd also maybe try to get a listen to them. Yeah, when it came for my turn to test out the equipment, I was told strictly that just don't sing. Yeah.
What did you do? Mic check. Mic check.
That's what I did. I did the mic check, and 1, 2, 3, 4, like to see the pickup of the mic, like how good does it pick up and all that, and it sounded really good. And I thought like what we did was sufficient. But when I got to actually singing, I was kind of thrown off by the fact that there was like the sound would echo back to the stage. So I started singing and I was like, huh? Why is there an echo? And then I went back to singing. So there was like a bit of a pause there at the start of my performance.
Nakakaano ng tempo.
Yeah, and it kind of threw me off. So I managed to pick it up in the middle, and I hit the high notes. But at the end, I kind of fumbled it again. So I was like, yeah, I'm definitely not winning.
Oh no, you can't really tell the outcome until like it really happens in real life.
True. Pero at that point, I kind of like thought to myself, na if I don't win, I wouldn't be surprised. But I was very happy that when it came to the standard choir performance, even though we had really less than 2 weeks to practice, I don't know if the days that we practiced for the standard choir would even accumulate. I think it accumulated to at least mga 8 days at best. despite the limited amount of time to practice, we got first runner-up. So standard choir, and that was basically our kind of like what we really wanted to win at the standard choir. Because when it came to the show choir, the choreography was kind of like hastily put together. So we were like, okay, as long as we're singing well, then you know what, this is still our first time anyway, and with a limited amount of time, it looks like we're not gonna do that well here. Pero when it came to the standard choir, that's where we were thinking that no, this is where we have our fighting chance talaga.
So who chose your piece? We piece niya, how did you know?
Sample.
I was the one who chose that
okay.
because, like I said, I have a bias towards songs in English, and that was one of the few OPM songs that were in English that I knew about. So I did have to lower it by 2 semitones because, yeah, it's
Because his voice is kind of like bass. Is that
yeah,
called
I'm a bass,
Yeah.
I'm a bass choir, and yeah, the high notes are really high, so yeah, hitting the high notes is definitely a struggle. Pero I got the hang of it. You know, with practice makes perfect, and it made me confident enough to hit the high notes. Pero I'm really happy that when it came to the standard choir, you know, despite the short amount of time of practice, we did manage to place really high.
So, radio drama. During the performance, grabe, the sweat, literally, para kaming naligo sa stage because it was that hot and we were all nervous. And, like, we were holding the paper like this backstage. And then, you know, like, we just really tried to have fun. That's what we said to ourselves. No matter what happens, let's just have fun. And during the last part of our piece, like, it was all like there was a fire going on, so we had to shout. And then Daisy, one of the members, she was the main actress of our piece, where she played like a 5-year-old child named Mai Mai. 7-year-old child named Mai Mai. And I was the mother. And during the tech run, I had to know where to position because I was about to shout, ang balay! Like this. But like during the tech run, I said, ang salad, because we don't want to show the other competitors like what the story is about. Ganyan. Yeah. Yeah. Ang salad! Mai! Yeah, we were doing that during the tech run. But like during, we really, really gave it our all. Yeah. But also same with the stage play, you know, like everything also fell into place. Like we performed it the exact same way that we practiced. The only problem was that, Kenti, yung acoustics we can't hear.
Yeah,
Especially
exactly.
So different. So I was staring at Miggy, like our tech, like this, like anong part na ba to? Because I can't hear the bed, I can't hear the what do you call it? The sound effects. I can't hear anything. I can only hear our voices, which was like also like minimized. Like, I was just hoping for the best because like radio drama, aside from like the technicalities of it, we also had to do the best one in terms of like vocal qualities.
So how were you guys doing the timing if you couldn't hear
The time?
the timing of your when to speak? How were you guys doing that? Were you just waiting for a cue?
When we practice, we really have a timer on. So we know what to adjust. Like, we set a time for, okay, we have 3 parts of the story. So, first part, dapat, 3 minutes. And second part, dapat 3 minutes. Third part, 3 minutes. That was the goal. And apparently, during the final, like, we achieved like the same way we practiced it. So that was a good thing. Although, there were errors. But we did our best, UP. I hope you're proud of us.
I just wanted to say na I really cried with your presentation. Like I was in the crowd and I was crying because of Daisy. Their story was very heartwarming, June. It's very amazing. It's like the story flashed right before my eyes. Really cried.
It's amazing. That's the goal. A goal talaga is mapaiyak lahat.
Yeah.
Ganon. Because our story was about like inflation in the eyes of a child and like realities in the eyes of a child. Yeah. So during, let's proceed to after the performance. Like, did we have any regrets? Did we wish that we did something like better or,
After the performance, kasi yung sa amin, like in-announce immediately who won.
Yeah.
Parang yung sa I feel like yung after the performance, tapos with everything announced and with every band na nakita namin, it was more of like parang a learning experience talaga. Like parang, okay, this is how the game is being played. This is what we're gonna do next. Or parang
Next-
in that effect,
next time.
grabe. Parang ganon. Parang it felt like that. We knew like, okay, ganito pala yung mga song choices or parang mga song dynamics na they would prefer. Ganito pala yung mga type of performances na they would prefer. So it was more of a learning experience talaga. And yun nga, na-mention ko kanina, I don't think na we felt regretful at all, and everyone was just having a good time. Pero yun talaga, na parang, okay, this is how we're gonna do it next year. This is how we're gonna change it up next year.
And how about you, stage play?
After the performance, we were rejoicing because
Yeah, we were rejoicing with them because we were in the same category.
because the announcement was dialogue and then musical, and then when dialogue was announced as the champion, I can only wish na musical will also be the champion, and then luckily they were also the champion. So like throughout that moment, they were just really in a very euphoric zone siguro, but like after now, like considering as of the moment kay kanang, I think there were a lot of things pod na we have to improve on, like especially the cooperation sa pagimo sa script and the tech and everything that. So just like the band pod na, it was a learning experience on top of the winning moment pod me. Yeah, so
Like, you said though you observed each of the performances before you performed, and you also said that you were glad that everything just fell into place. After you performed, were you already expecting to win?
no, not really. There's
Humble.
but there was like a chance. Like I was wishing pod because like during the performance there were kanang claps, but during the performance inana, so I was hoping, but there's our competitor na I was eyeing pod because their presentation was good pod.
Do not
So,
name drop.
yeah.
The issue. Do not name
Yes, but they're good pod, but like I was like hoping jud na we will win and go for nationals. We got it.
Yeah. Where is the nationals?
I'm not yet sure,
Palawan?
but Palawan or Bicol region.
Palawan, Bicol. Palawan.
Sana all
Sana kami
three
rin.
trip. Palawan.
Palawan. Okay, Raph.
For us, after the competition, we were actually on the minibus of UP. When we heard the results, I think it was we were listening to the live feed, and
Sa live feed kayo.
yeah, because we weren't in the venue anymore. Yeah, because we were picking up our stuff because the night before we were practicing outside of the venue area because Miss Kathy doesn't want us practicing in the holding area because it's kind of like based on her previous experience, it's a common practice that people will try to listen in on your practice to see what to see what they're up against. And yeah, it was like a strategic choice to practice outside because honestly, like the wash area, right, that I set up there, like I remember when 6 of us bass were just singing there. Like apparently we could be heard all the way in the 3rd floor. How much more if the entire choir was singing? Yeah, so that's why we went out to pick up our stuff, and then we heard the results while we were there on the minibus. And it was I would say that it was kind of somber. Okay, okay, we were really hoping to get that first place, especially with the standard choir.
All of us were hoping to get first place.
Yeah, everybody was really hoping to get first place because we're in it to win it, diba? Yeah. So we felt a little down, and what really brought up our spirits was the night after, the night on the day of the announcements. We decided to spend our remaining time maybe going around Dumaguete. And while we were out, we actually ran into the other
Oh,
choirs.
really?
Yeah,
Really?
first we ran into the Baisung choir,
Mm-mm.
and they were there. We went into the same area to eat, and it just so happened like there were some kids who were caroling, and because they were singing a song that we practiced in Serenata, we decided to carol back towards them.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah, and the other choir heard us, and they were like, "Oh wait, this is the UP choir," and they were like, "Oh wait, that's the Baisu choir." Like, "Hey guys," and then it just sort of happened, but that somebody I don't know who, for somebody suggested, "Hey, why don't we do a collab? Let's sing the
Oh.
contest piece together." And then we were just like, "Oh yeah, let's do that." So we decided to collab with them on the spot right there, and we sang the contest piece, which is Kay Ganda ng Ating Musika for the standard choir. And then afterwards, we left the scene after bonding with them. We left the scene, and then we ran into another choir. We
Another
ran into
collab.
CTU. And yes, we did another collab with CTU. And then the CTU choir was like, "Oh, by the way, the CNU choir is over there. Why don't you collab with them too?" Because we just collabed with them. And they were like, okay, let's look for CNU. And then we ended the night collabing again with CNU. We actually videoed the whole thing, and it's posted onto YouTube.
Aww.
Yeah.
We will be
cute.
watching.
Yeah.
So cute, so cute. But did you have any regrets at all that maybe if you chose a different piece, it would have like made you win like a higher position or something?
For me, I personally for pop solo, I thought that I chose the best piece for me at that moment, and it was a good learning experience for me as well. On like how to sing for pop solo, because I've gotten used to singing for a choir, and it's much more different when you're singing for pop solo. So there was a lot of things that I had to iron out, especially in practices. Pero I'm happy with my song choice. I don't really regret anything,
Yeah.
and I hope that my fellow Serenata members can say the same as well.
Of course, of course. Blood, sweat, and tears. Although, after your performance, we were really wondering how you would sound like if you performed Baby Lock Them
I real.
Yeah. Because his voice is so low. So
Yeah.
we thought, sige, sample, redeem yourself. Redeem yourself.
Ah.
Redeem yourself.
Go.
I was not informed of this.
Sample.
Baby, lock the doors and turn the lights down low. Put some music on that's soft and slow.
All right.
Alright.
Right, yeah, so nice. So, yeah, me, radio drama. After the performance, we kind of was hoping a little bit that we would position at least in the top 3. Because like people were saying like congratulations, like we could really feel that we did great. And then me and Omi, like one of my members also, we were holding hands like this during the announcements. And after we were announced, yeah, 4th. It was so fun. Like me and Omi were like, and like this, like we were like looking at each other and we were just consoling each other. Like it's okay, we did our best. You know, we did our
Yeah.
best at the end of the day. So after the performance, same as the choir, we also went around Duman. We also created really like beautiful moments together with our advisor, Sir GT. Sir GT, what happened in Duma stays in Duma. So that's all I can say. So I guess we already talked about PASUC 7, what happened before, during, and after. So what do you guys have to say for the next set of performers next year in PASUC? For live band, what is a message that you could say to them?
Like, I feel like one of the most important thing, this is more on the technical side, be very smart with your song choice. Like, take the time to pick your song kasi it's gonna be the factor that's either gonna make or break your entire performance. I swear, like, yung song choice talaga, yun yung pinaka important. In my opinion, it's one of the most important thing that you have to consider and you have to give time on. Tapos, when you do that, when you guys are gonna be able to pick up the song, it's just gonna, yun lang, parang standard na siya na magpa-practice, ganon. Pero yeah, that's my very first suggestion.
Is there like a kind of genre that you would recommend?
Actually, yung sa PASUC na competition, my genre siya actually. Like, for this year, we had to do pop rock songs na OPM. Pero last year, reggae, ganun. So like, yeah, they had to do reggae. So the genre wasn't really up to us. Pero, in addition na lang then, I feel like it's also smarter to pick a song na medyo like popular and known sa audience. Yeah. Because
So the audience can jam
yeah,
along.
kasi I feel like that was one of the parang mistake din na we did kasi our song wasn't really that known. So parang it's
Perform.
it's a Four of Spades na song, Take That Man. So it's kind of difficult for the audience to sing along with us. Pero the technicalities of the song was good. Pero yun nga lang na it's not that yun lang.
Thank you. How about you?
For us, a suggestion is to prepare ahead of time.
True.
Like,
Actually,
do not cram. I think that's what really made us very stressed throughout the whole experience. And I think if there's something that we upstage can still retain is that no to overhauling, like very branding of upstage is we are not afraid to bring calls in the stage. But so I think hopefully next year the delegates will still choose or pitch stories that are very relevant and would tackle social issues, and they are not afraid to bring it wherever PASUC 7 next year may be.
Yeah.
So, peace out and good luck.
Good luck. No, bring home the bacon,
Bacon.
once again. Bring home the
Again.
bacon. Okay, how about the show choir and the pop solo?
yes. Well, as she said earlier, don't cram. Prepare ahead of time. So yes, hopefully next time we'll be informed that we're actually participating a little sooner. And aside from that, I think something I'd really like to harp on, because he already talked about the technical aspect, he talked about preparation time. So when it comes to getting to the performance na, just have fun.
Real.
Real. Okay. All I can say is that for radio drama, stick to the conventional way. Because what we did was that we really tried to be different.
Real. Real.
That we forgot that at the end of the day, maybe the other people can interpret our piece the same way as we can interpret it, because the UP message is so different, compared to like other schools. So yun, stick to the conventional way, and Sir GT has got your back. Like, he knows what to do now, he knows what to improve on, he knows how important it is to like practice on the nuances and such. So yeah, all in all, have fun and perform well, do your best, make UP proud. Yan. So that is it for today's episode of Up Next, where we will tell you what is up and what is next in UP Cebu. Once again, this is Jana Marie Salazar, your host for today's episode, and we thank again today's guests for being with us today. And see you guys in the next video. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
bye.